Hey, welcome back to the Disney Plus Everyday Challenge, and today we have Dead End Express. This is a National Geographic reality docu-series in a sense. It's not a documentary so much. They've got all the dramatic music to show that these men and women, but mostly men, who take on the wilderness and some of the most beautiful parts of America, North America, Alaska, Montana, the big wide open skies and everything else, and the very, very desolate, I'm going to say that there's plenty of life out there, but especially in winter months when the snow starts coming, it gets colder, it gets rougher. It's not so easy to come and go if you're a homesteader. A homesteader is a person who pretty much lives, for the most part, off the grid, separate. Each of them to varying degrees, but sometimes they are so cut off from the rest of the world that a simple 6-hour drive into town doesn't really work for them. They need to have somebody deliver them something, or maybe they need one woman needed medicine, and I think this guy came in and he delivered it by plane. He has this very relatively simple, I'm sure I could not fly it, but it's relatively simple plane that he just flies in and doesn't ever use airstrips or anything else. Goes in, lands, delivers medicine. I can't imagine what that costs, but I couldn't do it. I couldn't live that far away from the world. They'll be the last people to get eaten by zombies. All right, that's great, but I just could not live that far off the grid unless I was on the run from the law. So we'll see if that ever happens. In this case, though, it's squarely focused on the different people and the different ways in which these guys serve the most remote of people and their homes. So there's one guy who has a boat that goes down Snake River, which is the deepest river in, if not America, the world. It's like deeper than the Grand Canyon. I don't know. He rescues. There's somebody that has an issue where they send out a 911 kind of message, code 5, and he goes out there and he rescues them. Find out that their boat sank, and they were lucky to get out and get on land, and they're safe. But then the next day, he has to go out and search for the boat, make sure that it doesn't get in the way of other people who might be boating and cause them to wreck as well. So it's a whole search and rescue kind of thing for him. There's a guy who has to deliver supplies up a mountain to fire stations, people who are in lookout towers. They're building new ones, or they're maintaining ones at different points in Montana, where they oversee these vast open areas of trees. And if they don't have the power, like say batteries or whatever else to run the communications that are up there, they can't warn anybody about a fire that's sprung up, whether it's for whatever reason. So their job is taking pack mules and horses up these trails, usually for hours, if not a day on end, just to get to those destinations, to deliver supplies, to build structures, or to deliver a battery to a communication system. So yeah, it's a lot of dramatic music, a lot of dramatic interviews about they don't call it the I don't know. You'll hear it in the very first few seconds of the show. The guy basically says, it's not something for wussies. Basically, it's meant, this is dangerous stuff. And yeah, it absolutely is. Otherwise, we'd all be doing it. So just these guys have a bit of fortitude that I do not have, and that's okay. But I'll be calling on them to fly me out to the middle of nowhere to escape the zombie apocalypse when it comes. So now that I've seen this, I know who they are. I have a feeling I'm nowhere near where these guys are. It would be an ordeal just to get out of Los Angeles. I've seen The Walking Dead and Fear the Walking Dead and all the other Walking Deads, so I know how that works. Not that I'm expecting zombies, but there's not a whole lot of there's a lot of pretty awful people in the world. So who knows what's coming next? Let's see. Yeah, so this is 2005. It's one season. It's 8 episodes so far. I have a feeling that that's it. Unless there's more seasons elsewhere that they're going to just drop on us later on. But so far, 8 episodes in one season from 2015. So if you're a prepper, a homesteader, somebody who just needed to get far off the grid, it wouldn't hurt to take a look at this series. Learn what you need to be prepared for and who you might need to call on in order to survive. And the thing is, these guys that are doing these deliveries and things like that, some of them, not all of them, some of them, their goal is to someday be one of those people who are delivered to out in the wilderness. There's one guy who's they claimed a spot up on a mountain somewhere. I don't know how you do that, like if it's legal or if you're just like, you care whether it's legal or not. You're just like, oh, I found a patch of land next to that guy and I'm gonna live here. And now we're going to just start building, like cutting wood and building a structure. And then we'll heat it in the wintertime. And other than that, we just sit up in a mountain. I don't know what they do. I don't know what you do. There's a lot of board games, I guess. I don't know. But maybe they have YouTube and they're watching my entire series. Wouldn't that be nice? Let's pick tomorrow's episode. 58? You gonna say it? Don't you say it anymore? Do I have to set the settings? Auto speak number. I have to turn it on because I just installed it again. So it 58. I had to uninstall it because it was crashing. And it may give us a number that we've already had. That's entirely possible because I had to reset everything. So it does not remember the numbers we've already called, which it used to do. 58. We are getting a lot of documentaries. Understand that there are right now in my list, because of what we watched so far. We've watched nearly 1,500 things so far. 1,458, I think. I've already lost count. It's on the title of this video below. There are twice as many documentaries than there are anything else in my list. So the odds of getting a documentary or a reality show or something is pretty good. The good thing is that we never seem to get the same thing twice. And since I removed something like 36 shark-related things, which I'll deal with later, I was just sick of watching the same pretty much shark shows with punny titles. In this case, though, we're going to learn about something that's very different from this reality series. We're going to be watching Buried Truth of the Maya. So we're getting a little bit of history. Buried Truth of the Maya on the next Disney Plus Everyday Challenge. I'll see you back here tomorrow with that.